Morning, Candy. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. At this time, Jaime Sacaro, where you at, Jaime? There you go. Come on up here from the Calvary Hill Baptist Church of New Albany, and from here in Bullitt County as well. Was going to lead us in our invocation and Pledge of Allegiance.
All right. We'll have a word of prayer, and then we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. Dear Heavenly Father, God, we are thankful for allowing us to gather here today. And Lord, as we asked for several times, Lord, we pray for our, God, for our officials here that are representative, for all of our judges, for those who, God, who help lead and make decisions for our community. God, we pray for all those in attendance, God, that you would help them, Lord, to, God, get the gratification that they need. Lord, help us always be thankful for even the privilege to gather together. And Lord, just be a part of this. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Pledge to the American flag, attention. Salute, pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you, Pastor. Thank you, Jaime.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
At this time, Candy, please call the roll.
Think about that.
Magistrate Rahill,
Yes.
Judge Summers,
Yes.
Magistrate Mitchell,
Yes.
Magistrate Logston,
Yes.
Magistrate Ladwell. All present.
Thank you. And also at this time, I'm going to remind everyone a few of the ground rules here in fiscal court. You have 3 minutes to speak. When the timer goes off, unless the court lets you keep continuing, your time is up. So, and as we move forward, Treasurer's transfer report.
Good morning. As presented to you this morning was the transfer report for the state for today, 9/15 of 2020.
Formal motion.
Second.
Got a motion by First District Magistrate Mitchell, a second by Third District Magistrate Laswell to approve the Treasurer's transfer report as presented. Candy, call the roll.
Judge Summers,
Yes.
Magistrate Mitchell,
Yes.
Magistrate Logston,
Yes.
Magistrate Laswell, Magistrate Rahill.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Presentation, approval of all bills.
Second.
Got a motion by Third District Magistrate Laswell to approve all bills as presented, a second by Second District Magistrate Logston to approve all bills as presented. Candy, call the roll.
Magistrate Mitchell,
Yes.
Magistrate Logston,
Yes.
Magistrate Laswell, Magistrate Rahill,
Yes.
Judge Summers.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Treasurer's transfer report.
Included in those reports are your monthly revenue journal, a fund receipt warrant, funds receipt report, a warrant distribution, an appropriation condition report, and a financial statement for August the 31st of 2020.
Make a motion that we accept the treasurer's report as presented. Second.
Got a motion by, any other discussion, gentlemen? Got a motion by Second District Magistrate Logston, a second by Fourth District Magistrate Rahill to approve the Treasurer's report as presented. Candy, call the roll.
Magistrate Logston,
Yes.
Magistrate Laswell, Magistrate Rahill,
Yes.
Judge Summers,
Yes.
Magistrate Mitchell.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Thank you, Canan. Approval of all of the minutes from the September 1, 2020 meeting.
So moved.
Got a motion by first, any discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none. Got a motion by First District Magistrate Mitchell, a second by Third District Magistrate Laswell to approve the minutes as presented from the September 1, 2020 meeting. Candy, call the roll.
Magistrate Laswell, Magistrate Rahill,
Yes.
Judge Summers,
Yes.
Magistrate Mitchell,
Yes.
Magistrate Logston.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Number 8, presentations. Presentation of Bullitt County Public Library 2020, 2021 tax rate. Joe, if you'd like to speak on it, you're welcome to.
Sure. Just wanted to let everyone know that this year, the tax rates, or this coming year, the tax rates will be reduced for real property to 6.2 cents, down from 6.0 cents per $100 of property. And the tangible tax rate has also been reduced to 6.2 cents, down from 6.57 cents per $100 of value. So, reduction in both of those rates. Motor vehicle rate will stay the same. That never changes.
Thank you, Joe.
Welcome.
The presentation of the Bullitt County Extension Extension District 2020-2021 tax rate. Little John couldn't be here today. Candace Renfro will read his notes.
David asked me to let you all know that the rates went down significantly in both real property and personal property over the past year. Real property decreased 3.64%. Personal property decreased 24.669%. Motor vehicle has been the same rate for many years.
Thank you. Any questions, gentlemen? Okay. To help you a little bit, Candace is a first alternate to sit on the board when I'm not able to be there. Who is? Candy. Old business, second reading of ordinance 20-12, Anthony Santuro Jr.
Morning.
Good morning, Rob. Thank you.
For the second reading, Commonwealth, Kentucky County of Bullitt, zoning ordinance number 20-12. An ordinance relating to changing the zoning of certain property from agricultural to R1 residential. The property in question is 9.46 acres, more or less, located at 686 Alpar Lane in an unincorporated area of the county. Whereas the Fiscal Court of Bullitt County has considered the evidence of the public hearing held by the Joint Planning Commission and the recommendations of the Commission, the information provided in the staff report of the Office of Bullitt County Planning and Zoning, and the testimony and evidence presented at the public hearing held by the Fiscal Court. Whereas the Fiscal Court concurs in and adopts the reasons of the Joint Planning Commission for said zoning change and approves and accepts the recommendations of the Planning Commission in this matter as set out in said minutes, and determines the proposed zoning change is acceptable and should be approved. And therefore be ordained by the Fiscal Court of County of Bullitt, Commonwealth, Kentucky. Section 1, the above property located in the unincorporated area of Bullitt County, and more particularly described in the Minutes and Records of the Planning Commission, in docket number 2020Z-13, is hereby changed from agricultural to R1 residential. Section 2, this ordinance take effect upon passage and publication as required by law. Section 3, should any section, provision, or part of this ordinance be declared unconstitutional or invalid for any reason by a court of competent jurisdiction, then the remainder of this ordinance shall not be affected and shall remain in full force and effect. Section 4, all ordinances and resolutions, to the extent they are inconsistent herewith, are hereby repealed. Given first reading and public hearing at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 18th day of August 2020. Given second reading and voted upon at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 15th day of September 2020.
Make a motion, we approve for the ordinance 2012 with the provision, I don't know if the guys see set up there in front of you, the road, what we asked for last time when we tabled it. The gentleman, the developer, come in and he reevaluated the road and reevaluated the provisions on it. I'm satisfied with it, so I'll make a motion, we approve that.
Okay.
Second.
Got a motion by, any other discussion, gentlemen? Got a motion by 4th District
Judge,
Magistrate Ray Hill?
can we make this a part of, in that motion, just so it'd be
Yes.
related to it? All right,
We
thank
will.
you.
By 4th District Magistrate Ray Hill to include the presented document by Mr. Santero about the improvement to the road. A second by, does that satisfy you, Joe?
Yes, sir, thank you.
Second District Magistrate Logston to, anyway, to approve zoning 20-20Z-15 with the attachment on the road. Any other discussion, gentlemen? Candy, call the roll.
Magistrate Ray Hill,
Yes.
Judge Summers,
Yes.
Magistrate Mitchell,
Yes.
Magistrate Logston,
Yes.
Magistrate Laswell. Motion
Thank you.
carried.
And
you,
Rob, on
sir.
this next one, I don't know if I
Thank you.
read the letter or if you do. It was addressed to me.
I don't have the letter, so
I'll read it then. This is the second reading of ordinance 20-13, River Homes, Inc. You ready? Okay. It says Honorable Judge Summers, Bullitt County Judge Executive, 300 South Buckman Street, Shepherdsville, Kentucky. Reference River Homes, Inc., dash zoning docket number 2020Z-15. Dear Judge Summers, on behalf of my client, River Homes, Inc., this is to request that the Bullitt Fiscal Court allow River Homes, Inc. to withdraw without prejudice its above referenced zoning application so that we may review and consider revising the entire plan, taking into consideration the comments of the court and neighboring residents at the public hearing of August 18th and the meeting of September 1. Thank you sincerely. Buckman, Ferris and Mills, Eric G. Ferris. Copies to John Woolridge, Bullitt County Attorney, to Felicia Harper, Administrator of Bullitt County Planning Commission. Do we need to vote on that then? You do. Okay. I'm gonna put this letter in the form of a motion.
I'll second the motion.
Got a second by First District Magistrate Mitchell. Any other discussion, gentlemen?
Well, Judge, this first time this has happened is they're withdrawing it from the, does that mean that they're looking for other avenues of like having the city annex them? That kind of, or you don't know?
No, I don't know. In fact, they've asked that it be withdrawn. What that does, it starts it back to square one. So
Okay.
if it's withdrawn and they then thereafter try to do any development of it other than what's already been approved, they'll have to start the zoning process over from the inception. Okay. So it would require public hearings at the planning commission as well for this board, if it hears it, or any city, if it would be hereafter annexed by the city.
Okay, so
They basically go back to square one, don't they?
if they want to get it into a city, I mean, they can do that. That's their right,
They still
right?
got to submit a plan.
They have the right to request annexation, and the city has the ability to approve it or deny it. Anybody that is adversely affected that may touch under state law may have the ability to also protest that.
Protest. And let me ask you a question on it. And I'm sorry, I'm learning all this zoning stuff. Is they zone a piece of property, like say if I got a piece of property sitting right here, and I got a road coming to it, and it's a county road. So if they zone that property, do they have to take that road into?
The city, if they are going to use city utilities, or they want the city to make that a city street, that would be part of the annexation process.
Okay,
For the most part, they do take care of the roads if they would come to a normal boundary.
well, we've got a couple right now that,
I know.
that they did not, so I
The
just,
city's
okay.
already out in that area, they're up Crooks Hill Road where
Right.
they took it to school. But they went in a different way, so they didn't take in the road now.
Okay.
John, are you saying this is a mandate for the city to take it in?
Pardon?
Are you saying this is a mandate for the city to take it in if they annex the property?
If they annex it in, it would be my understanding that they would take that road with.
And if they run utilities up over, they have to.
They'll
Okay.
have to do that.
All right, sorry. Thanks, Judge.
You're welcome. So I made the motion. The letter's attached to the motion.
Oh, did you get a second?
Not yet.
I give it a second.
Oh, that's right. Dennis
discussion,
did.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry. Okay, any more discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none. Sam, call the roll, please.
Judge Summers?
Yes,
Magistrate Mitchell?
Yes.
Magistrate Logsdon?
Yes.
Magistrate Laswell? Joe Rahal?
Yes.
thank you. Okay, Rob, I think it's you again here. All right. Well, take it back. I've got
Keith.
yes.
Ordinance number 20-08, page 1 of 1, amendment number 2, in the summary form, an ordinance relating to the annual budget and amendment thereof, whereas the county of Bullitt has realized unbudgeted receipts from the federal funds, be it ordained by the fiscal court of county of Bullitt, Commonwealth of Kentucky, section 1, the budget for fiscal year 2020-2021 is amended to section 8, increase the receipt
I'll put in form a motion on the budget amendment 20-09 that we approve it.
Second.
Okay, got any other discussion, gentlemen? Got a motion to approve 20-09 as presented by Treasurer Sharp. First District Magistrate Mitchell, second by Fourth District Magistrate Rahal. Candy, call the roll, please.
Magistrate Logston?
Yes.
Magistrate Mitchell?
Yes.
Magistrate Laswell?
Yes.
Magistrate Rahal?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, we have some action requested next under new business to hire some EMS personnel. We met with all these fine new additions to our staff. Rhonda had to leave. She had a family matter last night. She spent the night in the hospital with her mom. Anyway, it's Terry Reardon, Eric Stewart, who's she's an EMT, Tanya Lutz, she's moving up here from Morgantown, Kentucky. Nicole Logston is an EMT as well, and Joshua Crank, who is a full-time EMT. We also have there's also one more, Eric, there's an addition to that as well. He's an EMTA. He lives in Hillview. Eric Mahler, EMTA, at $19.50 an hour. And what this does is puts us real close to being fully staffed. I'm making the motion to hire all of them as presented, the $17.50 with all the EMTs and $19.50 for the EMTA.
Second.
Got a second by Fourth District Magistrate Rahal. Any other discussion, gentlemen?
No, I don't know Nicole Logston. I'll make a note, though, that I'm not related, but I like her last name.
Okay, all right, thank
How
you.
you know you're not related?
Thank
We
you.
might be down the road or something, but
Well, you
What do
have-
you like about her last name?
it's a good last name, very solid.
There you go. And a little bit more discussion about that. I don't know if any of y'all saw it or not, but the K-Beams approved our newest ambulance. It's got all the bells and whistles, including the automatic, what I'm gonna say, stretcher as well, last Thursday. So it's on the road. It's dedicated to autism. So I got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, Candy, call the roll, please.
Magistrate Logston?
Yes.
Magistrate Laswell? Magistrate Rahal?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Magistrate Mitchell?
Yes.
Motion
Thank
carried.
you. All right. And again, under new business, first reading of ordinance 20-11, an ordinance relating to regulation, control, and elimination of soil erosion and sedimentation resulting from land disturbance activities in Bullitt County. Rob, if you read the summary sheet for the 18-page ordinance.
To be Commonwealth, Kentucky, Bullitt County, ordinance number 20-11, to be presented in first reading in summary form. An ordinance relating to the regulation, control, and elimination of soil erosion and sedimentation resulting from land disturbance activities in Bullitt County. Be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of County of Bullitt, Commonwealth, Kentucky. Section 1, authority, sets forth the legal authority for this ordinance under Kentucky law, specifically KRS Chapter 67. Section 2, purpose and scope, sets forth the purpose and scope of this ordinance with respect to soil erosion and sedimentation resulting from land disturbance activities. Section 3, definitions, establishes definitions for terms used in this ordinance. Section 4, permits, establishes the requirement for a permit for land disturbance activities of 1 acre or more. The activities exempted from said permit requirement, the application and form requirements, permittee responsibilities, fiscal surety requirements, notice of termination provision, KPDES permit applicability, relationship to other applicable laws, and high-quality water protection requirements. Section 5, review and approval, sets forth provisions regarding review and approval of permit applications by Bullitt County Code Enforcement, land disturbance activity start date requirements, permit effective period, and establishes Bullitt County Code Enforcement as the enforcement agency. Section 6, erosion prevention and sediment control plan, establishes the requirement of an EPSC plan to be submitted with the permit application and sets forth the applicable EPSC plan requirements, including best management practices. Section 7, design requirements, establishes and sets forth minimum design requirements for EPSC measures. Section 8, inspections, authorizes inspections for compliance by Bullitt County Code Enforcement and sets forth notice requirements, self-inspection requirements for permittees, and inspection report requirements. Section 9, fees, authorizes Bullitt Fiscal Court to establish an applicable fee schedule, requires the payment of any fees prior to permit issuance. Section 10, enforcement, establishes Bullitt County Code Enforcement as the enforcement agency for the provision of this ordinance and sets forth the enforcement process, including issuance of stop work orders for violations, reinstatement, pursuit of legal remedies, and appeal rights. Section 11, penalties, establishes penalties for violation of this ordinance, including criminal and civil. Section 12, interpretation, this ordinance shall be interpreted consistent with Kentucky law and applicable federal laws. Section 13, inconsistent ordinances repealed. All ordinances which are hereafter found to be or determined to be in conflict herewith are, to the extent of such conflict, hereby repealed. Section 14, severability, allows for severability provisions as a result of an adverse court ruling. Section 15, effective date, this ordinance will take effect and be in full force upon passage and publication pursuant to law. Given first reading in a regular meeting of the Fiscal Court of Bullitt County, Kentucky on the 15th day of September 2020. To begin second reading and vote upon and pass to a regular meeting of the Fiscal Court of Bullitt County, Kentucky on the 6th day of October 2020. Complete copy of this ordinance may be viewed and inspected at the Office of Bullitt County Judge Executive, Bullitt County Courthouse, 300 South Buckman Street, Shepherdsville, Kentucky, 40165, during regular business hours, Monday through Friday, excluding legal holidays.
Thank you, Rob. Any discussion, gentlemen?
Yes, there's one on the, I'd already talked to Felicia and everything in regards to this. When they get this, go for this 1 acre permit and everything, we want to make sure that it's not, that they're not wanting to fill a ravine, because if you go in there with a ravine or something like that and everything, land is measured, when you survey it, it's measured like it's level. Now, if you go in there with a ravine or something like that and everything, you could dump 300 or 400 loads in there, in a ravine like that before you'd ever build up to where you got an acre. So that needs to be stipulated and everything in this ordinance and everything, that's not what we're looking at or need to be looking at is if you're going to be building up a acre of land, it's got to be on relatively flat land, not to be looking at a ravine and everything where you can put 300 or 400 loads in it. So, and I've discussed this with Ms. Harper and everything, so that needs to be put in there and everything, that needs to be watched, and to have that in the ordinance and everything to where you're not filling the ravine and everything with 300 or 400 loads, continue to dump it.
So you want to hold off on okaying this, or you
Well,
want to?
this is the first reading on this, but I just want to make sure that that's in there for the second reading, if we can do that without a problem.
Because this basically outlines all circumstances an acre or above, but you're saying below an acre, there's a lot of opportunities. Somebody could have a 1/4 acre lot and they could just keep adding and adding and adding up.
Keep going and everything, and then the other thing is that they don't just continue to go in there and get a permit this week and everything, and next week go in there and get another permit, and just keep adding to this thing, keep adding to it. Those are things that I think we really have to watch and everything, or we'll never get this, we'll never be able to keep a handle on, because I think they'll find loopholes and everything where they can get around this thing.
Master Municipal, under the definitions for land disturbance activity, it does include provision that fill on sites less than 1 acre in size and with less than 250 cubic yards of fill
Right.
Okay,
be disposed on site, so that's already defined.
that'll cover that then, okay.
Okay, if that's amount is acceptable, and if it's not, then let us know, we can
Right,
change that, but it already has that 250 cubic
okay,
yard requirement in there.
okay, okay. Yeah, I'm okay with that then.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Thanks for working on this.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I do appreciate what y'all doing on everything, because it's been something we've been dealing with for a pretty good little while.
Good deal. Okay, Rob, you again. Actions requested on Resolution 20-09, authorizing the execution of memorandum of understanding between Metropolitan Sewer District and Bullitt County Sanitation District.
To be Commonwealth, Kentucky, Bullitt County Fiscal Court, Resolution number 20-09, a resolution authorizing entering into and execution of a memorandum of understanding regarding intent to enter into interlocal cooperation agreement for wastewater services, including the purchase and sale of wastewater collection and treatment system. Whereas Bullitt County Fiscal Court desires to support the ongoing negotiations between the Louisville and Jefferson County Metropolitan Sewer District, MSD, and the Bullitt County Sanitation District, BCSD, regarding MSD's proposed purchase and BCSD's proposed sale of BCSD's wastewater collection and treatment system. And whereas a memorandum of understanding between MSD, BCSD, and Bullitt County Fiscal Court has been submitted to further these efforts, and whereas Bullitt County Fiscal Court determines it's in the best interest of the residents of Bullitt County to enter into the proposed MOU. Now therefore be it resolved that Bullitt County Fiscal Court does hereby enter into the proposed MOU between MSD, BCSD, and Bullitt County Fiscal Court, and does hereby authorize the Bullitt County Judge Executive to execute the MOU as proposed. This resolution having been adopted by the Fiscal Court of Bullitt County, Kentucky during a regular meeting on this 15th day of September 2020. This resolution shall stand as adopted by the Bullitt County Fiscal Court and shall become effective upon passage and publication as required by law.
Okay, thank you, Rob. Any discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none, I will make the motion to,
Oh, is that a resolution?
this is a resolution, to enter into the MOU with the Bullitt County Sanitation District and MSD.
Second.
Got a second by 4th District Magistrate Ray Hill. Any other discussion?
Yes, I just want to say, I want to thank Joe, because Joe's been involved in this pretty good little bit and everything. I know he had 2 children, so, but, I just want to thank everybody for the time they put in this, because it's, something been needed for a long time.
Thank you, Magistrate.
Thank you, sir.
And Judge, if I may, just so the court's aware, obviously Joe is, and I think the judge's been involved with discussions, but the Sanitation District approved a similar resolution this past Thursday at their meeting. So that's kind of moving the process forward, and this MOU isn't the final document. This just kind of sets out some general terms and takes us to the next step. So there's still a number of months to go, but this moves the ball forward and keeps the negotiations going and keeps the process in place. It kind of, with COVID and different things, it kind of stalled out for a few months, but we're getting it ramped back up, and this will hopefully get things moving again.
Right.
And then also, so this thing's been going on for years and everything, and this court and everything is doing a good job to keep this thing moving, because it's something that's been going on for a long, long time with this problem and everything, so, I guess this is the first step and everything to try to get this rectified some way or another.
The other one, make sure is, you know, we have a lot of problems with our sewage up in the north end.
I do.
A lot of problems, and anything short is we're making sure that our rates stay where we've set them.
Right.
As designed, is bringing MSD in with all their expertise and all their ability to take care of everything, but keeping our
Great. Sustained.
citizens where we need to
Yeah.
be, staying down.
Yep.
Well, and the other thing too, and everything, fiscal court has got a part in this and everything now. It's not just, we can oversee this thing and whatever needs to be done or whatever, even on the rates and stuff like that and everything. Fiscal court has a say-so in it.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I made the motion. Magistrate Ray Hill seconded. Candy call the roll.
Magistrate Laswell?
Yes.
Magistrate Ray Hill?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Magistrate Mitchell?
Yes.
Magistrate Loxton?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Sign-in sheets, Norman Contermus.
Speak. Oh. You want to take his time? He signed up first, Mr. Katermas.
I'm Norman Katermas, and I don't see why our judge is letting this dog warden go around and do what she's doing to people. She's came on my place, she's got my dogs. You promised me, when you got in there, you would take care of it. You ain't done nothing. To me, they stole this boy's dogs right out of his pen. They stole mine. Come up there, didn't even get up the driveway. They were standing in my driveway. They had about 6 or 7 power loads. I had people to call me and ask me what was going on. They thought somebody died at my house. Had the sheriff with them. I asked him, I said, ain't she supposed to sign a paper? Give me a paper. Yeah, I said, I don't know. Said, I'm just here for the drama. She said, well, get all these dogs. Said, you sign this paper. And said, I won't charge you nothing. I signed the paper. I shouldn't have even done that, but I signed the paper. So she goes up there, starts taking my dogs, then turns around and said, fellas, just hold up. We ain't got enough room for them. Said, just take and keep what you want, and we'll take part of them. She took, two of my Ratters that I bought, spaded them. Took two Yorkies that belonged to my son, I was keeping them. Neutered them. Went out there in the pasture looking at my horses. For the pasture, it was behind the barn, not a lot. She said, "Where's your feed for your ponies up there?" I said, "They don't need none. I give them grain, and they got feed out there, plenty of grass." So she takes her little pad and she goes out there in the pasture and she looks. She come back, she didn't say nothing. But it shouldn't keep on going like it's going. It needs to be stopped. There's no reason for nobody. I had up no trespassing signs. Does it do any good to put up no trespassing signs and somebody just come in on you and do what they want? No, it ain't right. It's time to do something. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Mr.
sir.
Termes. Rob Leading?
Well, you want them to go ahead with the same subject? I think they're talking about the same subject,
Sure, that'd be fine then.
and that way
And
you come back to.
I'm here for your dog warden.
What's your name? What's your name?
My name is Perry Robertson. I would like to see her job terminated. I've dealt with this woman for 3 years on the same breed of dogs. I live off the road. You can't see my house. I live a quarter mile off the road. She's done took them 3 times from my home. I'm a night worker. I coon hunt. I got people that hunt a dog for me. It was late. They didn't bring the dogs back because of being late. I said, just keep them at your house and we'll pick them up tomorrow. I work in Danville. I done that. She took my dogs, and when I went there to get them, she won't give them back. I've checked with the county records to see if her warrant was processed. It was not of yesterday. So she didn't turn in nothing for these dogs. Her warrant wasn't filed or anything. This has been going on for 2 weeks. I'm talking to a lawyer. I'm gonna sue her and the county if I can't get this resolved. This woman, I'm tired of messing with her. Some dogs killed my mom's dogs. They went to her. She done nothing about it, but every time a hound is anywhere, she takes them. And this woman has cost me. These dogs are trained for competition. I just missed a competition on Labor Day weekend. For $2,000 or $3,000. I've won it before. This is what the dog was trained for. I went to get the dog, she won't release it to me. Why? I have no idea. But like I said, she got a search warrant on some other people that had my dogs hunting for one night. She never filed it until this morning. As of yesterday, it's not filed. And I've been dealing with her for quite some years now. Now, if I can't get her job resolved, then I'm gonna take the next step and go on and sue her in the county too. I'm tired of this woman.
okay.
Thank you.
Please do the coon hunt.
Yeah.
You know, I love my dog, you know, but my dog ain't $10,000 dog. Their dogs are. Their dogs, you know, whatever you want to say is that you don't take a $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 dog and treat it bad. Nobody does that. I mean, I got a $6,000 truck and I wash it and I keep it clean. You know, so, and I know these gentlemen very well. So I don't know what's going on, but I don't know how we go about releasing their dog back to them.
It's in court, so it's gonna take a judge. I don't have nothing to do with that. They just had my dogs less than 24 hours. Like I said, I work out of town. They picked them up that evening. They hunted them. It was late. I said, just keep them at your house till tomorrow and I'll pick them up. And then the dogs got taken for something I have nothing to do with. All I like to do is get my dogs back so I can continue on to hunt. These dogs are in magazines and everything. I mean, we're avid competition hunters.
John, what triggers the process for a dog to be picked up like in these situations? Can you take us through the legal steps of, I'd like to learn myself a little, like, what constitutes a call? Does somebody make a complaint? How does this even get started?
Normally, there's complaints made. In this particular case, I believe his case is in court. Robert's aware of it. There's a search warrant issued on this case, and because of that, it takes a district judge to act before the dog can be released. I believe this dog will be released, but again, we have no authority. It's judicial. The county has no authority, so it's before Judge Porter at this point. Rob, has there been a resolution at this point that you know of?
Yeah, the case, actually, Animal Control worked with the city of Lebanon Junction. Their police
Right.
department was down there as well on this property. There were a number of issues, including the conditions the dogs were in. Mr. Robertson's dogs, again, I don't know which ones they are, which ones they aren't, but none of the dogs had tags or microchips, so they weren't able to identify who they belonged to. They just went on the property, found these dogs, these conditions, got a search warrant, signed off by the judge, seized the dogs. But once that happens, if they've been picked up as strays, it'd be different. Then the Animal Control could have some authority to release them. But since they were seized pursuant to a search warrant issued by the court, we've got to get the judge, district court judge, to authorize the release. We don't necessarily have a problem. I think Mr. Robinson's been in touch with our victim advocate. We let our prosecutor know. We just got to get some kind of proof so we can do it. We've already got the case advanced, because the case was set out, I think, until November, December. We got the case moved up, so we can try and get this moving quicker. But again, we don't, I mean, that's gotta come from the judge. I mean, all we can do is make the request, but we're not gonna object to anything, but since they're taking, as part of a search warrant, part of a criminal case, and criminal charges that can be filed against the property owner for cruelty, and I think some other things as well. So again, that's the situation we're in. I mean, when she arrived at the scene, she knew whose dog belonged to who. There was numerous dogs on the property, and the conditions, I've seen pictures, it was pretty awful.
No offense to you, sir, the dogs do have name tags. She did take my collars off. I took paperwork to get the dogs. I've got videos on my phones of the dogs. I've took pictures of the sire, the
I'm
dame.
not even here, that for the district court judge, again, the chief of police.
But I'm just letting y'all know that the dogs they do have name tags on
The chief of
them.
police also said there's no identification, so if they're both
Yes,
lying.
they are
okay,
lying.
You can argue that with us.
I'll argue with anybody. I got the pictures on my phones. I identified collars. Mr. Quells, the cop, walked back in there, identified my collars. The name tags were taken off of them. Sir, I got videos on every dog I got right there, them 2 dogs. As the night they took them.
Arguing with me is not gonna help you, sir. I explained to you.
Well, I just want everybody to know here that the dogs were identified, paperwork was shown, and pictures. Mother, dame, everything.
And every cause that has to be
Again,
property because of the way you
I'm
act.
tired of dealing with this woman. If I can't get her job resolved, I will press charges. I've done talked to a lawyer. Thank y'all.
Thank
And
you.
the dogs I have pictures if you wanna see them. I'll show each and every one of y'all the dogs from the time they were born to right now, to the night they took the dogs. I can show you everything. This is the 3rd time this woman has got these dogs. And like I said, I live a quarter mile off. The first time she took them, they were 12 weeks old. I live a quarter mile off the road. How do you get 12-week-old puppies out of a quarter mile? 3rd time. Every time I go to her, she charges me $300-400. When I pull a checkbook out, it's $80. Like I said, I'm here for her job and to get my dogs back, and I have proof that they belong to me, pictures, paperwork, everything.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr., are you Mr. Leedy?
My name's Ron Chandler. I've had dealings with the same woman. She took my dog. It wasn't a hunting dog. This was a yard dog. I had in the yard to protect chickens. He wandered off. I put a collar on him, kept him in the yard. He wandered off through it. She got my dog. I went to her after some help with you all. I got my dog back with no collar on him, remind you. This is one of those collars you put on him to keep him in the yard. $180. No collar. Got my dog back. Went and bought another collar. 10 days later, she gets my dog again. Collar didn't work. Yep, my dog probably did get out on the road or whatever. She gets my dog again. I don't get no collar. She says, you can have the dog. I said, I can't keep the dog. He won't stay in a kennel. I bought collars. She kept both my collars. I never got any. She said the collars belonged to the dog. Well, the dog wasn't the one that went to town and bought the collars. I did. Now, she's got a place for hunting dogs. I don't know what she does, but it seems like to me she strives on hunting dogs. Beagles, coonhounds, anything with a value. Where she's going with it, I lost over $300 worth of collars messing with this woman. Finally, I told her just keep that dog. Now I don't have a dog. I've had hunting dogs all my life. I don't have a dog right now on account of that woman. She's terrible. And if these little people we have here don't prove it to you, I can fill this courtroom up with people that'll tell you the same thing. So, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Chandler.
Appreciate it.
Yep. Mr. Leedy?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Rod Leedy, once again, everybody probably knows me, at least on the panel now, for the last couple of weeks we've been up here and talking about the same subject. It's the dumping and rezoning up on Brooks Hill. I'm just here to refresh your minds and so forth, your memories a little bit, just to let you know that the roads up there are getting worse now. They're breaking off even more. You come around the curve up there by Wicker Lane, and I'm telling you, there's got to be some major road work in the near future up there on Brooks Hill. Dennis, you know about it. You've went up there yourself. You've looked at it. You drove over it numerous times, I understand.
Correct.
And you even personally stated that they've tore that road all to hell.
They have.
And so forth, and it's getting worse from there. So just asking that you please keep it in mind, and I would hope that you reconsider, or at least you would consider not rezoning that area to making it commercial property. Do not allow commercial property up in there, especially the type that they're wanting to do with the excavation companies and the dump truck company, Goller Trucking. Both of them are trying to they're getting their footsteps in, they're getting their feet in the door so they can create a business up there that's going to harm a lot of people and a lot of people's property values. Not only that, it creates a hazard and a danger to our kids and our traffic and our families, as I've stated before. The guy that's going to follow me right here, I do believe, Rob over there, he's got some video for you to show just a little bit about some of the road hazards and damages or the dangers that his wife incurred just a couple days ago and so forth. So you'll be able to see it a little bit better versus me trying to describe it to you. But I'm going to be here until this thing ends, whether it goes in our favor or not. I'm just hoping that you guys just maintain your common sense and remember that your friends and neighbors need you. We need you to keep our community a community and not a disaster area. And I thank all of you. Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir. Mr. Becker?
Thank you, gentlemen. As was mentioned last meeting, you have the ability to show some videos. So if you can put in the video 269. This video was taken the day I left the last meeting on my way home. This was my trip up Brooks Hill Road. I can show you kind of the volume of truck traffic we have. If you'll slide through what I did when I was going up the road, I saw a truck come through the intersection behind me, so I pulled off by Brooks Elementary, let it go by me, and I followed it up the hill. While we're going up through here, you'll notice that there's 3 dump trucks coming down the hill. This is the volume of truck traffic that's on this hill daily. I'm gonna have them slow down and stop at the 3rd truck. That way I can show you the width and how these trucks go off the road and they're damaging the road. And he has these videos downloaded on his computer. If you want to go through them and look at the actual damage on the road, you'll be able to see quite a few spots. Like coming up here on the right side of the road, there's a place that it's worn off on his shoulder. You can see where it was all cracked on the shoulder. You could slow it down and watch and keep going, sir. We'll go all the way up. And the area that Rod was talking about is right up here at the top of the hill, right before Holsclaw Hill. Right around on this bend to the right, see where it's all worn down? All right, that's the second truck. And if we go up to the third truck, you can see that both trucks are actually have their wheels off the edge of the road, and that's what's tearing up the edges of the road. Right coming up here is where the third truck's coming up. And if you look right here, the truck heading toward us is off the edge, and that truck I'm following is also off the edge of the road. That's how narrow that road is, and that's how dangerous it makes it up there for us. And as I said, he's got these on his computer. If you want to go back and look at them, look at what's happened to the road. This will show you everything from Brooks Elementary up to Wicker Lane. The area that Rod was talking about is a little beyond Wicker Lane, and it's just as bad, if not worse. Another thing I'd like to say is they talk on the radio, but while we were going through those first three trucks, you noticed that dump truck stayed on his side of the road. Once we passed that third truck, you'll see he's constantly overdriving on the yellow line and crossing the yellow line. So they talk on the radio when they know people are coming and when they don't know people are coming. If you go through these tighter turns in here, you'll see them over the line. That's what we face every day when we start coming into these blind curves. As I said, this goes up to Wicker Lane. You can pull up the other one. Now this one, the second one was taken last night on my wife's way home. And right at the start, just the way the video lined up, that first dump truck coming at her had one headlight, met it on the hill. As the driver's side headlight was out. And she got farther up the hill, and there's another second truck that comes by. We were told he was going to stop going after dark. Well, this was last night, as I said. The timestamp on it is wrong. On my wife's dash cam, we don't have the time set. On mine, it is set. The first video that you saw, it is the day of the last meeting we had. I just wanted to show these. This is the conditions we face with all these dump trucks daily up there on the hill. And I really ask that this ordinance be pushed through and passed so that we can get some kind of relief, at least started up there.
And
And I thank you for your time, gentlemen.
thank you, Mr. Becker. Wanda Stafford?
Good morning. Thank you all for taking the time. I'm Wanda Stafford, and I was here the last time about lighting. I do have some photos on a thumb drive that you can look at, but I'm asking for your help for an ordinance because we really need a lighting ordinance. They are and they can be used as weapons and a nuisance, and we as residents have no recourse for relief. You know, if somebody's making noises, they're being obnoxious, they have trash, we can call the police. We have some recourse, some way of getting relief for this. For lighting, we do not. I have tolerated this for a long time now, but in the past year, it has become intolerable. My neighbor put in larger floodlights and floodlight bulbs and pointed them towards my property. I contacted an attorney and had him to request that the lights be turned downward, put on motion detectors. They simply said no. They have since put in a street light on their shed and had the HOA put up a street light on the pole out in front of their house. I put up the tallest arborvitae trees that I could to help block the light, and the HOA changed out the old street light on my side, which I had, it was the old style street light, I had it blacked out, and they changed that to the new LED. Now, in this situation, we now have, on a straight of way, in a subdivision, we have 3 poles in a row that have these new LED street lights on them, and they shine egregiously into the homes. A lot of people don't say anything, they don't want to cause trouble or anything, but they're using my money in the HOA to pay for these lights that I do not want, and it disturbs my sleep, and it messes with my circadian rhythm. Every night, I go through the same ritual. I have curtains and I have blinds. I put up towels, I put up blankets, and every morning I have to go through the ritual to get any kind of sleep at all, which is not very good because I still have light around the outer edges showing through. I can no longer enjoy my deck. I can't go out in the twilight of the evening and sit and enjoy my deck. I go out in the evening, and whenever I come back, I'm blinded by light backing into my driveway. I am blinded by light whenever I go out onto my deck. If I have to go out in the evening, I have fallen 3 times. And the last time that I fell, because the light came on and blinded me, and I lost my footing, and the last time I fell, I wound up in a wound care center. And it took 3 months for my leg to heal. I have a bad leg. It hit one of the posts I'd grabbed to keep from falling all the way down the steps. It hit the post, and it took 3 months for it to heal. And because of all of these problems, I did go and look up in the general provisions in 1.304, the residential areas of Bullitt County are protected from hazards of fire, offensive noise, smoke, odors, and glare. Definitely, I've got glare. Even in the conditions in the general provisions 4.802, even whenever someone builds a parking lot, a business, if there's a residential, they are told to turn the lights to where they do not cause any kind of glare or reflect onto the abutting residential areas. We need protection from this. I do have some pictures if you'd like to look at them and have him to download them. I can explain them to you. If you don't have the time, then you can look at them at your leisure. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to ask John there. John, how can this be dealt with? I know we got a nuisance ordinance and everything, but maybe it doesn't spell out the part on the nuisance and everything, in the nuisance in regards to lighting or obstruction of vision or whatever and everything. How do we can deal with this situation?
You're gonna have a difficult time dealing
Enforcing.
with private property owners who wanna put up security lights. That is their right to do that. Now, commercial, we control commercial lights fairly well.
Right.
Because when they come into planning and zoning and they get approvals, the lights are directed inward, downward. I believe Ms. Tapper lives in Lazy River North.
Yes, and that is the problem. We requested that he point the lights downward and put them on motion detectors, and I watched him point the lights towards my house, and he went out and bought the largest floodlights. At some points, I had over 7,000 lumens of light shining into my house and onto my property. His area at that time was dark.
The lights that he has are on his property, correct?
Yes.
And that's part of your issue when you start trying to control private property and private property owners, their ability to illuminate their property. A lot of people will light their houses up quite a bit at night just because of security reasons. If
intentionally, that becomes a private matter.
I do have a court.
Would be the one that would hear that. She would have to have her attorney basically involved in litigation if she believes that he is intentionally causing a nuisance or harm to her. She has a medical condition. She believes the lights are causing it to increase. But again, that's a court of law. You're not a court of law here. You know, we can control lighting on public ways, but we have a hard time, if at all, being able to control private property owners.
Okay, I guess my question and everything is, as long as it was on his piece of property and it was directed strictly on his piece of property, it would be like you're having a situation that, it's detrimental to property owners on the side and everything. It'd be like you had out there and you had and I don't mean to be picking on dogs, because I love my animals and everything. I got a lot of animals and everything too. But if you had a dog next door there and everything, and he constantly barked all the time, that's not staying on that piece of property. It's moving on to another piece of property. That's basically the same thing here with this lighting. It's moving on to somebody else's property and everything that's causing the problem. I'm just asking a question and everything. I'm just asking you to, if you can.
Dogs barking are a nuisance. Light or, it's a nuisance to this lady, but it may not be a nuisance to anybody else. She's in a subdivision that has a private HOA. They actually collect funds to put these lights up. You pay a homeowner's assessment, and they put these lights up for purposes of protecting the neighborhood.
Well, we had a light on another pole that they just recently added it to, and years ago, we had one, and they decided that it was not needed. It's in a straightaway. It has nothing to do with safety or anything else.
If this light has been put up by the HOA, is it by the HOA or is it Salt River that put the light up?
Salt River, HOA had the Salt River to put it up.
My suggestion was that you contact Salt River.
I did.
And ask them to come out and look at the light at night to see if it can be directed elsewhere. That's a utility company. They're in a business of putting lights up. And if you have where it is put up improperly and it's causing a problem, they should be the ones that you would contact to get out there to see if they can.
Well, I had done that before whenever I had it blacked out, but there's no way that I can get them to remove it?
No. The HOA is the one who's put it up. The HOA is the one who's paying for it.
HOA doesn't like me.
Again, if the light is not functional or correctly directed, Salt River can redirect the light.
I don't know where they'd redirect it to, because the pole sits right in my yard. I know that Louisville, Lexington, and there are several cities around Kentucky that do have lighting laws. Can we not adopt any of those types of laws?
The court can adopt a lighting law, but I'm not familiar with those. If you've seen one, you have one, you're more than welcome to direct it to our office. We'll look at it. If it's something that is functional for this county, that would be fine. But when you start talking about Bullitt County versus a residential area, there's differences there. Obviously, cities are more lit up than a county is to start with. Again, if you have an ordinance or you've seen one in a neighborhood, I'll be more than happy to look at it to see if it could be applicable to Bullitt County.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you all very much for your time.
You're welcome. Okay, at this time, Dennis, any further comments?
Well, I'd like first to, if it's a possibility for us to go into executive session on personnel matters. I'd like to see us do that for a few minutes and see what, discuss this personnel issue. Second, yes, sir.
Okay, Candy, I have a motion on the floor by First District Magistrate Mitchell to go into executive session to talk about personnel issues. I got a second by Fourth District Magistrate Rahill for the same thing. Any other discussion?
No, I was running a little late. You said I might have to buy lunch. I may need to order some pizzas.
Go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
You want to do that?
So-
if you don't mind.
Candy, call the roll, please.
Magistrate Rahal?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Magistrate Mitchell?
Yes.
Magistrate Logson?
Yes.
Magistrate Laswell? Motion carried.
Hey, I knew every inch of that movie. Yeah. I knew every inch of it.